What's going on, everyone? Aiko here, and as you have probably heard by now, there was a massive announcement regarding the phase progression of Classic WoW. There's already been some great content created by YouTubers like Tips Out Baby, Mad Season Show, OG Haptics, Frostadamus. Definitely go check out their videos to get even more in-depth info about this new announcement when you're done watching this one, and you can find links to their channels and the actual Blizzard Blue post in the description below. This announcement is a major win for the No Changes community and was one of the first issues brought up by Classic fans even before the 4-stage proposal at BlizzCon 2018. What they showed us at BlizzCon was their current thought process at the time, which, if you remember, was this. As Stage 1, Molten Core, Onyxia, Dire Maul, Kha'Zix, and Azure Ghost. Stage 2, you had Blackwing Lair, BGs, and so on and so forth, as you can see on the screen. That's when the Classic community really ramped up and progressive itemization became a massively hot topic to be addressed. But why? In Stage 1 alone, having Dire Maul and the world bosses available during the time of Molten Core and Onyxia severely nerfs that content and more. Dire Maul and its tribute runs offered a lot of upgraded gear and world buffs that were not originally available during the time of Molten Core and Onyxia Progression 2004. The result of this would not only be the indirect nerfing of early raids, but also potentially turn early content into meaningless content. Now, I don't want to get into all the finite details of what gear and what world buffs are examples of this, but I do think you should know what the controversy was of the original proposed 4-stage plan. What was announced as a new 6-phase plan proposal, and it is in my opinion that this new proposal keeps the integrity of Classic WoW being as true to 2004 as you can get, at least when it comes to progressive itemization. What we now have is Molten Core, Onyxia, and Maradon, however you want to pronounce that, as being the Phase 1 launched content available. Dire Maul, Azure Ghost, and Kha'Zix have been moved to Phase 2, Blackwing Lair and the Darkmoon Fair and Darkmoon deck drops will all be in Phase 3, ZG and the Green Dragons, Phase 4. Phase 5 will be perhaps the most highly anticipated phase next to launch day, because that's when we'll see the AQ war effort begin and the AQ raids to open when, as they say, the war effort dictates. Ladies and gentlemen, that means we're going to get to relive the true opening of Encourage. And if that doesn't excite you, I honestly don't know what does. Also in Stage 5, we have Tier 0.5 dungeon gear becoming available. Finally, in Phase 6, we will get Naxxramas and the Scourge Invasion. Now here's something else that is so important about this announcement, and that is in the 4th paragraph here, which states, "Along the way, we've taken a close look at items that provide the biggest power gains, many of which were introduced in 1.10, as part of a sweeping dungeon itemization pass." Kelvax goes on to say, "We've gone back and reconstructed many of the most heavily affected drop tables as they existed prior to the 1.10 patch, and we're planning to update the drop tables alongside the Encourage war effort." Now, he brings up patch 1.10 specifically, but more importantly is the verbiage that he states they reconstructed many drop tables that existed prior to 1.10. This tells me that the loot tables will all be changed to match the time of the content. And that, my friends, is very telling as to how close they want to make Classic to how it truly was in 2004. That to me gives me great confidence that the Classic dev team wants Classic to be as true to the original as it can possibly be. I think it's safe to say that the No Changes crowd, which includes myself, can safely put this issue of progressive itemization to bed. But what about the other issues such as loot trading, sharding, and the absolutely dreaded right-click reporting? After this post, I believe all three are still being debated. And of those three, I see sharding as being the one on the possible chopping block. Unfortunately, when it comes to loot trading and right click reporting, I'm not as confident because what's the biggest cost of running an MMO? That would be hiring customer service representatives. And what does Activision Blizzard want to drastically cut? You got it, the extra expenditures. So my confidence is not high that those two will be cut. Certainly would be a surprise, though, and a welcomed one, but with Classic due out in summer, what would seem to be a more active Blizzard communicating to their Classic audience, I have a feeling we'll be hearing about those other issues soon enough. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this short opinion piece, please give it a like, or to be updated when I release new guides and lore videos, just click on that subscribe button and click on the bell to be alerted. As always, take care of yourselves, be good to one another, and I will see you in the next one.